breaking news.
And we are following several breaking news stories here at the top of the hour today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jonathan Cooper. The FBI is now investigating in Wagner, where police shot a man. President Joe Biden is traveling to Oklahoma this afternoon to mark the centennial of the Tulsa Race Massacre. Texas Governor Greg Abbott invited Governor Stitt down here to the U.S.-Mexico border, where he also got a tour of the Rio Grande. We continue to follow the big breaking news that Governor Kevin Stitt has commuted Julius Jones's sentence. He will not be executed at 4 p.m. today. We will get you back to the talk in just a few moments, but we do want to cut in with an update right now with some breaking news we've been following now for about 4.5 hours. This is near 21st and Olympia, where a police chase has just ended. We are told that the Oklahoma Highway Patrol and Tulsa police were involved. A verdict has been reached in the Ahmaud Arbery trial in Georgia. A heartbreaking update in the case of two children's bodies that were found. They have confirmed that those bodies are Tony Crook and Miracle Crook. You have been listening in on a very emotional press conference from Tulsa police after two of their officers were shot earlier today. If you've been out today, you've noticed that there's a big difference between neighborhood streets and in some of the main thoroughfares through the city. I want you to walk with me here, and you can see just how much water is at the bottom of this store. And I also spoke with Eric Trump one-on-one, who is the president's son. He said he's very excited. 90s theme, what does that mean? Are you going to have like Backstreet Boys and stuff?
A little more
early
91,
90s?
91 to 93. Very particular, like MTV Beach House 91 type of stuff.
Not late 90s, I
Not
gotcha.
No Limp Bizkit.
It's so cute. I was telling him, like, he smells so good.
I showered today. I wore cologne even.
Oh, wow.
Just a little spray, not too much.
You just took it up a notch here.
I do have a selfie stick. I keep it on my desk. I've never used it, though.
Why do you have it at your desk?
I don't know. I have a lot of random stuff at my desk.
You have a stuffed rabbit at your desk and a selfie stick.
I have a lot of weird things on my desk.
An interesting array.
You know, you've been coming on the show I've been here 2 years.
Right? That's
and so
impressive.
I feel like I've gotten so much better. I took my jacket off for this one. I am ready. I am prepared.
Can't wait.
That's what's great about this recipe. It looks like you can be creative with it. And, you know, if you don't like a certain thing, the onions, for example, just take them out.
Take it out.
Hopefully I don't get injured. Oh, wow, this is pretty intense.
Jonathan Cooper joining us live. Jonathan, good morning. How are you feeling?
Good morning. It is a great morning to be a Chiefs fan. I have my my sweater on, my lucky Chiefs sweater. I'm drinking my Chiefs coffee.
Craig and Lori, Governor Kevin Stitt got a boat tour today of the Rio Grande. He also spoke with officials on the ground here on the border. The governor tells me what happens here on the U.S.-Mexican border has a direct impact on people in Oklahoma.
We're not prepared to handle the numbers that are coming up.
Time for the Biden administration to wake up.
600 miles south of the Sooner State.
It's not just a border issue, it's affecting Oklahoma.
Governor Kevin Stitt is getting a first-hand look at the situation on the U.S.-Mexico border.
And it really shouldn't be a Republican or Democrat issue. This is an American issue.
He joined 9 Republican governors today near McAllen, Texas. That's where the U.S. Custom and Border Patrol says in the past year, it's encountered 1 million more people entering the U.S. illegally than the same time last year. Stitt blames President Joe Biden's administration and policy changes.
All we have to do is change the policy that says, no, if you want to seek asylum, you can apply, but you are going to stay in Mexico.
Stitt, along with 25 other governors who recently sent a letter to the president, are also suggesting other measures. Former President Trump campaigned on completing the border wall. The governors today say that needs to continue. Some critics call the governor's trip a publicity stunt since Oklahoma does not border Mexico. But Stitt tells me Oklahomans are feeling the impact as the Oklahoma Bureau of Narcotics reports most of the methamphetamine in the state crosses borders like this one.
It's the methamphetamine that's coming into Oklahoma that are killing our kids, that are getting people hooked, is coming from Mexico. It's Mexico drugs.
Next month, the governor will be heading to Mexico City. He tells me, though, that trip has more to do with the economy and commerce. Reporting live near McAllen, Texas on the U.S.-Mexico border, Jonathan Cooper, Oklahoma's own News on 6. Craig and Lori, this pool was built in 1956, and just by looking at it, you can tell its age, and now it needs a lot of work. Christy Thames loves her unique,
It's preserved its original style and architecture.
mid-century modern neighborhood pool.
It's like it stepped out of the Mad Men show.
Like out of the show Mad Men, the Lortondale Pool near 26th and Yale still has a lot of the features it did when it was first built in 1956. But because of that, Thames says they're now facing some big issues.
The Tulsa Health Department actually gave us a 3-year kind of strategy that said you have to have this pool resurfaced, and if you look, a lot of the plaster is falling off.
A massive leak in one of the pumps is also causing issues. So much so that Thames says if they don't raise $20,000, they may not be able to open next summer. It's something those who've lived in the neighborhood for decades don't want to happen.
There's a lot of memories here.
Jackie Darras lived in the neighborhood for 30 years, but says some of her girlfriends have been here since the beginning.
She brought her 50 cents and came over and swam with her iodine and baby oil.
Darras says back when they first built the neighborhood, they didn't charge homeowners association fees to fund the pool. They still don't, meaning they rely on donations and membership fees that anybody in Tulsa can pay. Neighbors here hope future generations can enjoy it like they did.
It would be wonderful to get it back in shape.
Now there's another pool around here that also needs some repairs, not as urgently as this one, but neighbors around here are going to have a fundraiser on Sunday for both of the pools. Reporting live in Tulsa, Jonathan Cooper, Oklahoma's Own News on 6. Far across the Oklahoma Panhandle, in a secluded corner of the state, is a spectacular landscape unfamiliar to many Oklahomans. Black Mesa State Park is the driest, coldest, and highest spot in Oklahoma. It gets its name from the black lava rock that coated the land 30 million years ago and is full of diverse wildlife, clear skies, and a growing number of tourists like myself. Our drive there was long and seemingly flat. Remnants of the Dust Bowl still dot the landscape. But when we got west of Boise City, everything changed.
Right when you get to the park, it drops off and you're in a valley and it's really pretty.
Tall mesas paint the skyline, and at first you see more cactus than people, until you get to the tiny town of Kenton, the population just 14.
My granddad came in this country in 1886.
This is where we met Jane Apple. Her family owns the Hitching Post, an assortment of homes and log cabins. She put us up at their old farmhouse. Yeah, I can do that. But Jane provides a lot more than just a vacation rental. If you want to roll up your sleeves, she'll put you to work on her ranch too. Every other morning, Jane loads up her pickup with feed and heads out to find her 150 cows. But if working on the ranch isn't your idea of a vacation, Jane also shows people around the mesa's most popular spots. So what kind of dinosaur was this? Like 13 dinosaur footprints still carved into the ground. And also the 3-state marker, which separates New Mexico, Colorado, and Oklahoma. But the biggest attraction is climbing the mesa itself.
Lived in Oklahoma for 6 years, so decided to come check it out.
We set aside about half of a day for the more than 8-mile round-trip hike.
Gonna need a lot of this.
With backpacks full of water, snacks, and yeah, more sunscreen, we set off. We're about half a mile in so far. It's been pretty flat, but this is where we have to go. 2 miles in, we reached the incline.
It's got a lot harder now.
A steep incline.
It's hot. It's steep.
And after what felt like a hike straight up, we finally made it.
We've reached the top.
On the last part of the hike, you'll run into this, a monument marking the Sooner State's peak.
This is the highest point in the state of Oklahoma, 4,972 feet. It's a long walk.
But the true magic here at Black Mesa may come out when the sun goes down. With almost no light pollution, Black Mesa is one of the best, darkest spots in the country to see the stars.
And you can see the Milky Way.
Park manager Polly Kiker says people come from around the world. In fact, every September, astronomy fans descend on Black Mesa for a week-long star party. Between this subtle glow in the middle of the night and the orange sky of what looks like a painted sunset, beauty here is all around.
Well, it's just a work of art.
And whether you're staying for a few days or just a few hours,
I think it's definitely worth the drive.
You can experience it all right here in our state.
It could be in New Mexico, it could be in Arizona, but it is here in Oklahoma.